In practice activity 4B, we're going to continue working with the drawing SUV1A1 survey to create some custom point styles and apply them. So at this point, we're going to toggle off the aerial map image by going to our Palettes tab, clicking on the Palettes drop-down, clicking on the map task pane. On the command prompt, we're going to click on to toggle that on, and this will allow us to select the main site image and turn that off. Once we've turned it off, we'll close out of our map task pane, and now we have just our figures and our points. Let's zoom in on our current points and then we'll see what we'll be doing. So we have some point markers there for streetlights, and what we're going to do at this point, we're going to go to our point styles list. In our tool space settings tab, we'll go into our points. We'll expand the points, we'll expand point styles, and we're going to create a new style by copying an old style. So from our list of styles, we're going to select guy pole. We'll right click and we'll choose to copy it. When the dialog box opens up with all of the options that are associated with guy pole, we're going to change this and we're going to restart by renaming it on the information tab. So by default it was named guy pole copy. We're going to change that name to light pole. We'll get rid of the designation copy. Okay, so we've renamed it light pole, and now on the marker tab we're going to customize our marker. So looking at all of the options that are associated with this project in the template file, we're going to scroll through all of our marker options, and we're looking specifically for ST-light, for street light. Once we've found the street light, we'll select it. We'll make sure use AutoCAD block symbol is selected when we select it. From the display tab, we're going to reassign the marker and the label by selecting the label name. So we're selecting marker. We're going to the layer option, and we're going to go into the layer designations, and we're going to create a new layer. And our new layer dialog box opens up, and we're going to name this new layer the node post. So I'm going to click right in on the value for layer 1, hit my backspace to clear it, and I'm going to type in the node post. I'm going to click OK. We're going to keep the line type, the line weight, and the color as it is. So we'll click OK and click OK again. And now we'll move to our point styles list. And we should be able to see that we have light pole now. And if we go into view the options, we have the node post set as the layer. Continuing on, I'm going to go to the tool space settings tab. Again, expanding point label styles this time rather than points. Rather than point styles, we're expanding label styles, and from label styles we're going to look for the point number rather, elevation description. With that selected, we're going to right click and we're going to choose copy. That will open the label style composer dialog box, and we'll type in the name point number dash description. Get rid of the word elevation. So we have point number hyphen description hyphen N hyphen E. With that in place, I'm going to go to my layout tab. From the layout tab, I'm going to make some changes. So in the component drop down, I'm going to choose point number. And now I'll assign some properties to my point number. From the anchor component, I'm going to set that to feature from the drop down. From the set the anchor point to, I'm going to set that to top right. For the set the attachment, we're going to set that to bottom left. Okay, once I've done that, I'm going to select point elevation and the component name, and I'm going to click the red X to get rid of that. And when we're prompted, are you sure? We're going to click yes. That leaves point description, and we're going to customize that so that the anchor component is set to point number. The anchor point is set to bottom left, and the attachment is set to top left. With those options selected, I'm going to go to the Create Text Component option. I'm going to click on the text component, and I'm going to change the name. The default is, of course, text 1. I'm going to change that to coordinates. And then I'll set my anchor component to point description, my anchor point to bottom left, and my attachment to top left. Having done that, I'm going to go up to my contents area where I have label text. I'm going to hover at the left where I see the dots to give myself options, and I'm going to click on those dots. It'll open up the text component editor, and it is showing me label text on a black background. And I am going to double click on that text that's there to select it, and I'm going to type in an uppercase N. And then from my properties group, I'm going to choose the property northing. With that selected, I'm going to change my precision by clicking in that box, and from the drop-down list, choosing 0.001. Once I've done that, I'll click the arrow pointing to the right to update my text in my preview at right. I'm going to click at the end of that code, and I'm going to hit enter to move down a row, and then I'll type in the uppercase E. And from my properties, I'm going to select easting. And again, for precision, I'm going to click in there, and I'm going to set that to 0.001. Once I've done that, I'll click the arrow at right of properties to display that preview in the text box at right. Now, had I not remembered to do the precision, and I actually kind of jumped the gun, the instructions have you do it later. You can change the precision after you've added it simply by making sure that it is selected and then clicking in the property and choosing whatever you need to change it to. Once I've done that, I'm going to go to my Format tab, and I'm going to choose to have it left justified. So now I've added those two text components. I'll got them left justified. I'll click OK. I'm going to click OK here, and we're going to see some changes. So I'm going to keep working. In the tool space now, in the Prospector tab, I'm going to expand my point groups. And within the point groups, I'm going to select the streetlight group. With the streetlight group selected, I'll right-click, and I'm going to choose Properties. That will open the point group Properties settings. And I'm going to go right to the Information tab. And from the style drop-down list, point style is light pole. Okay, so my point style is light pole. My point label is point number description -NE. With that selected, I'll click OK, and we'll see right away the points that we've zoomed in on in the intersection have been updated to reflect that new label style. So we've just very quickly applied a new style. With that done, I'm going to save my drawing. But before I do that, let's change our scale. So the text is annotative. As I scale in and I scale out, the text will automatically be updated. All right, I'm going to save my drawing and we'll continue on with it in activity 4C.